I'm Laura, and I run Seattle Dogs Homeless Program.
And I'm Debbie, and I make gelato for dogs right here in Seattle.
Okay. Laura, could you tell me a little bit about your program, why you're out here, and what you're doing here today?
We go out and distribute pet food, supplies, and we also do emergency vet care and boarding for people that go into drug treatment in the hospital, school, or work. And Debbie is donated her product, Swell, which is a dog gelato, to us, and we've been out giving it to people that are homeless.
That's great. Ari, hi, can you tell me a little bit about your company?
Yeah, so I'm Debbie, and I own Swell Gelato for Dogs. So I make delicious gelato for dogs, and I make it just like you make it for people. So it's actually a really delicious treat. I make it right here in Seattle, and so yeah, I reached out to Laura because I see these, I see the homeless people on the corner of the street and with their dogs. And of course, at that time, I don't have gelato with me because, contrary to what people might think, I don't always travel with ice cream in my car. So then I never have one to give. And now that the weather has gotten better, I just thought that would be a neat thing and make some dogs and their owners happy for a while. And it just happens to coincide with this big fundraising campaign that they're doing tomorrow. So we thought it was perfect timing.
Okay. What is this campaign, Laura? Please explain the difference that can make to you and your organization and the people you serve.
Well, we have been chosen as one of the nonprofits to receive matching donations from corporations in the city of Seattle. And May 8th, which is tomorrow, is the big give campaign. And any donations that are given in through that website will be matched by those corporations up to $35,000, which would be astronomical for us and would make a huge difference in what we're able to provide people.
Right, and just it would up the number of people that you're able to serve or the number of animals.
Oh, yes.
So I would like you to kind of just, can you tell me a little bit about your company, like when you started it?
Yeah. So that's always the $1 million question. I tell everybody, if I got $1 for every time somebody asked me, why did you stop making gelato for dogs? I'd be rich already. It just kind of happened. I had a corporate career that came to an end, and I was going to take the summer off and do nothing. And I got bored after 2 weeks. So I like making ice cream, and I was already making gelato for my boyfriend and I, and making a version for my dogs. And since I was only going to do fun things for the summer, it was going to be the summer of Debbie, and it ended up being the summer of Swell. I got a little gelato cart, and I went to the local dog parks, and I didn't have any fancy packaging or anything. I was just out there to have fun, and they loved it. And so then I was at that point. So that's always the $1 million question. I tell everybody, if I got $1 for every time somebody asked me, why did you stop making gelato for dogs? I'd be rich already. It just kind of happened. I had a corporate career that came to an end, and I was going to take the summer off and do nothing. And I got bored after 2 weeks. So I like making ice cream, and I was already making gelato for my boyfriend and I, and making a version for my dogs. And since I was only going to do fun things for the summer, it was going to be the summer of Debbie, and it ended up being the summer of Swell. I got a little gelato cart, and I went to the local dog parks, and I didn't have any fancy packaging or anything. I was just out there to have fun, and they loved it. And so then I was at that point where I'm like, okay, I can either pursue something that's totally fun and awesome because I've always wanted to work with dogs, or I can go back to corporate life and then always wondered if I missed, my calling. And so I just kind of went for it. And that was 3 years ago. And then since 2 years ago, I started selling it in stores, and now it's kind of up and down the West Coast, and it's been really fun.
That's awesome. And I know we're very glad to have you come out and do this with us.
After dealing with being homeless ourselves, me and my husband and our dogs, we knew firsthand what it was like to be out here and to be in need and not have a place to turn to for that. and we were able to utilize the donate clinic at the time, which was amazing. But if they weren't open or they weren't as accessible as we needed at the time, then it was like, you know, like share a cheeseburger with your dog, share a piece of chicken. It was always difficult. And so when we got on our feet, and we started Seattle Dogs, but we didn't realize it at the time what we were actually doing, because we would actually get on the Metro bus with a bag of food and off we would go. And then I'd tell my husband, I'd say, well, that dog's old and it needs meat, not dry food. He'd say, okay, Laura. And then I'd say, well, look, that dog needs a treat.
I bet he never said that dog needs ice cream, though.
I know. Yeah. And so we just started from there. And then one day my vet asked me, he said, Laura, what do you need? And I said, I need a vet. He said, okay. I don't think they've ever regretted telling me okay, but I do drive them crazy. And then a lady up in Edmonds, I'd meet her doing transports, and she said, well, what do you need? And I said, well, you can give me some food or something. And she's like, no, what do you really need? And I said, I really need boarding for these dogs that, people are alone out there and they need a safe place for their dog to go so they can go to drug treatment or go to work. And so she donates me kennel space. And yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Okay, well, I am just happy to be out here with you guys and to meet you. I already know you.
Yes.
I love you dearly.
I love you too.
I just want to say, even though the campaign is called Give Big, but even if you can only give a little bit, please give, because the companies will match it, right?
Yes.
It's amazing.
And if you can't give, please share.
And what's the link? We're going to post the link. The
link will be posted not only on my YouTube page, it'll be posted on my Instagram and my Facebook as well.
Okay.
And with links to get to both organizations or both companies.
Yeah. So give big or give small, but give.
Yes.
Please.
Give.
Oh my God, I love you. Thank you.